to the Boxing Voice. I'm your host, Jeremy Flanagan. With the biggest fight of his career coming on February the 18th, Adrían Granados feels very confident leading up to this fight with former four-time world champion, Adrien "The Problem" Broner. Here at the Boxing Voice, we was able to catch up with Adrían Granados live on our TBV podcast. If you guys missed out on that podcast, here's that interview with Adrían Granados.
Adrían Granados,
hello,
how
hello.
are you doing, brother?
What's up, brother? How's it going?
It's good. It's good. We're happy to have you. We want to thank you, obviously, for taking the time out to give us this opportunity to interview you. I know you're in training camp for what is the biggest fight of your career. Do you feel that way? I know the media and guys like me, everyone wants to pump this one up and kind of, I guess, I don't know, maybe do we do it to tell you how serious it is or to see your reaction? But how serious is this fight with Adrien Broner?
No, yeah, it's definitely a very serious fight. I'm taking it very seriously. I mean, it's a fight that could catapult me into another level, and that's what I plan on doing. I know there's a lot of fighters that are envious of the position I'm in, but obviously I paid my dues and I put in my work, and I'm happy for the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to thriving in the position and pulling off another upset. The way people are going to see it is going to be another upset. But for me, I take it as I'm just going to solidify that, that I belong there with the best.
That's awesome. Hey, Granados, I'm Steven Calderon, the producer of the show. I'm just going to ask you a quick question. I'll get back to producing. So you did bring up your amazing, underdog victory against the very highly touted Amir Iman. That was in 2015, though, and last year in 2016, you only had one fight. Do you think the inactivity is going to play a factor coming into this, big fight of your career? This is going to be the biggest test that you've had.
No, it shouldn't. I've stayed in good shape. I mean, it's been a very controversial year. Had falling outs of fights. I had about 3 big fights come up that fell out. So, I've been in the gym and been staying ready all year. It's just been a matter of getting somebody to put up or shut up or step up to the plate. And luckily, Adrien was definitely man enough to take this fight. And, it's going to be a great show.
Hey, Adrien, it's Matt, the editor of The Boxing Voice. First off, Adrien Broner is sort of a unique style. I know he mimics Mayweather, but I think he's a different style of his own. Do you think that Amir Iman was a good representation of that style and that you sort of seen someone like Adrien Broner? Do you think that you have that experience of that?
No, I think Adrien has his own style and Amir has his own style. I think Amir's more of a lankier and wants to fight from the outside more, and Adrien, he'll catch you on the inside or the outside. They both have individual styles, but me, myself, I have my own individual style, and I actually, I can adapt to anybody. That's one thing I'm going to show the boxing world in this fight. I know they see me as kind of a one-dimensional guy, but the guys haven't seen me in total yet, so I'm going to definitely show some different sides of myself in this fight.
So, Adrien, I mean, the media are writing you out to be like this generation's Marcos Maidana because of the upset and the fashion that you did it versus Amir Iman. Now you're going against Broner, and obviously Broner lost to Maidana, who shares a similar style with you. So they're saying that. How do you take that? Are you, I guess, content to be mentioned with a guy as good as Marcos Maidana, or do you think that you have more levels to your game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've you guys just started seeing the first layers of the onion. I definitely have a lot more game plans, a lot more things. I mean, a lot of people don't really know me. You have to watch my fights to actually get it. But like I said, I just kind of consider myself like a chameleon. I always find a way to, either if you're a boxer, I'll make you fight. If you're a banger, I'll make you box. I can do a lot of different things, and I'm definitely not a one-dimensional fighter. Being compared to a Marcos Maidana is a compliment. But I mean, there's definitely other sides to my game, and I think I'm gonna show that February 18th. That it's there's a little more to me than just the typical Hispanic who comes forward, and that's what I'm gonna show them. That, I got plenty of tools to my game.
Hey, Adrian. So I had a question about in terms of the venue. So I've been looking through your box rec here, and I'm not seeing any fights that you've had so far in Ohio, particularly in Cincinnati. That's Adrian Broner's hometown. Is a hometown factor something that you're worried about considering? Do you have to put a little bit more emphasis on your training and blocking things out because there is going to be a huge crowd rooting against you?
I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I'm hoping to get a fair shake, which obviously I never do. But what is it? I'm training hard to definitely take it out of the judges' hands. I'm looking to dominate. I'm looking to look impressive. As far as the crowd goes, I believe you guys will be pretty surprised at the following that I'm gonna have there. We're not gonna be quiet. Chicagoans, we're known for getting around, whether it's the Blackhawks, the Bulls, Cubs, Sox, any Bears even. That we get around, and when we got a good sporting event going on, and that's been my reaction with this fight. I got a lot of inboxes and a lot of people just like showing me all their ticket purchases. People being 10 deep, 12 deep, 15 deep, and it's just like it's exciting because I mean it's only like a 4.5 hour drive from Chicago to Cincinnati. But I mean I'm hoping for a ruckus crowd. I'm hoping for a crazy atmosphere. Because I mean. I'm a kid from the neighborhood myself too. I train on the west side of Chicago. My family's from the south side of Chicago. I've dealt with a lot of ruckus environments, and I think that's definitely what Adrian Broner surrounds himself with. Well, that's something that's going to be exciting for me too, because that's just my cup of tea as well. So I think it's going to be a very exciting crowd. It's going to be a very exciting environment, and it's going to be a great fight.
Adrian, I'm assuming you've seen the Miramon fight on tape, right? You've watched the replay of it?
Of course, yes.
What was the technical aspects leading up to that knockdown that you had in the first round when you got knocked down that first round? What do you think led to that? Since I'm assuming you seem like a very smart guy. I've seen you fight a bunch. You've always improved from fight to fight. What, looking at that knockdown, have you improved from since?
I mean, I got a little bit too excited. I was just getting immediate success from him, and I just kind of wanted to. I was letting everything go and mixing it up and throwing a bunch of different like combos at him, and I just got a little carried away, and I just jumped at him with a leading left hook and right hand, and he caught me right in between. So it was my own fault. I just got ahead of myself, and it was just a technical mistake. Even halfway going down, I was like, "Oh, damn it!" But it was okay. I mean, I hopped right back up. I wasn't hurt. I just took my time, waited till I gathered my wits, and then I just got to work after that.
Adrian, I'm looking over your record, and what stuck out to me is the Brad Solomon fight, because that is an interesting fight. I don't know if you know or if you remember, but Brad Solomon was trained by Mike Stafford, who trains Adrian Broner. And what worried me, and it's obviously my opinion doesn't hold much weight, but it still worried me that Brad Solomon, he is a great boxer. I've watched him fight. He's a very slick boxer, but he doesn't have much power. Now Amir Iman was ranked as a very big puncher, but up until facing you, he hadn't really faced anyone, so we don't know. Now, you've been in there with Solomon. You've been in there with Amir Iman. Just give me a gauge on that power, because Broner does hold some significant power. He's almost has like a 70% knockout ratio, and he knocked down Sean Porter in the 12th. He's definitely carries power.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, well, each one of them, they all carry the pop. I think with Amir, he caught me cold, and that's how he got me. Because then halfway through the fight, I was taking solid shots from him, and I just wasn't really feeling them anymore because I was just in the zone at that point, and I felt like he couldn't hurt me, and I could feel he was breaking down now. But he had a lot of pop, but it was too spaced out. That fight was a really bad robbery. It was the first fight of the night. There was only like about 20 people there, so nobody was really there to see it. But those who were in attendance did know that I won. I mean, even De La Hoya tweeted about it. A lot of people that were there watching it, like, they knew I won that fight. It was a real bad robbery. It pretty much was just like the Amir Imam fight, except without the stoppage. Like, it was just like that. I was landing 5-2, 6-2, 6-3. Like, I was just out punching him, out working him. And in the last round, he was just holding on for dear life, and I'm pushing him off, banging him up. I, like, almost stopped him in that last round, and he survived, and it gave me a split decision loss. That one was a heartbreaking loss. I almost thought about quitting right there, but that's when my manager picked me up, and after that, we've been undefeated ever since I've been with Journeyman Management.
Man, that is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. It reminds me of how Laura must have felt with the Williams fight. But how do you allow that not to happen with Broner? I mean, like Matt said, this will be his hometown. It will be enemy territory. He's a showman for sure. So, even if you outwork him, he's going to be landing these clean shots and, kind of getting the attention of his fans and the judges. He loves that check left hook. Like, how do you not allow a robbery to happen in Cincinnati?
Just making sure that that I look dominant, that I look strong. What I've got planned, I think it's gonna be something great for boxing. Adrian's a great champion. Great 4-division world champion, great fighter altogether. I think win, lose, or draw, both of us are gonna excel in the sport even after this fight because it's gonna be a great fight. Like, I just know the way our styles mesh. I don't have a lot of fights, but I got enough, and I've been in there with tough competition where I know that this fight's just going to be a great fight. Like, our styles, I was his sparring partner for Marcos Maidana for 8 weeks, and those sparring sessions were intense. They were so intense. Like, we chopped it up, like, for 8 weeks, like, just going at it, like, cats and dogs. Good way I could describe the way this fight's probably going to play out, just imagine 2 pit bulls, in a dog fight, or like 2 inmates in the jail cell, because it's gonna get nasty, but it's gonna be exciting for the fans. So it's gonna be a great fight, and that's why I'm taking my training to another level to make sure that I'm prepared and I'm ready to dominate. I plan on dominating this fight.
Adrien, do you feel like all you have to do is outlast him? Because, he's not known to be like a high output puncher or anything like that. He picks his shot. He's more of a pot shot or a cutie. Like I said, he likes to get the crowd involved, the judges involved. Do you feel you just got to outwork this guy every round, just outwork him and be the person throwing more punches?
Yeah, definitely. Well, my plan is definitely what I've said in camp. I plan on taking him deep waters and then drowning him. It's he's a tough fighter though. I know he's going to be dangerous all the time. He showed even with the Maidana fight at the end, he still had the power, and he had Maidana a little worn out and hurt there at the end. And obviously, he still carried enough punch to drop Sean Porter in the 12th round. So, I'm just dominate. I'm just gonna make sure I dominate, but I'm gonna make sure I keep my P's and Q's together because he's still gonna be a dangerous man the whole time.
Do you buy into the hype that he may not be taking it seriously, or that his past training camps, like even with the Porter camp, right? We thought he was taking it seriously. Then he says at the end, that he wasn't really training. He had issues with his girlfriend. And like, there's always been rumors of him training. There were pictures of him eating Twinkies after the Eloy Perez weigh-in. There's always been something like, him and his issues with weight. Do you feel that those things are over now, that he's truly focused? Because this is some they've been selling him as a resurgence of his career now. They got Floyd in his corner, and it's like, oh, Adrian's back. He's just got to stay around the right people. It's his friends that were bringing him down. I mean, do you buy any of that?
Honestly, man, I just focus on myself. I mean, I've been in camp with him, and I know him. He trains hard, man. He trains hard. Yeah, he may have his, he may something. I mean, I ain't perfect myself. I have my little binges too, where I'm eating and just chilling. But I mean, we're all human. But I know he's a man. And what it is when it's time to go to get going, he goes. Like when I was in camp with him, he was like coming back from when he was being a rapper, and he was like, and camp started like a couple weeks late. But then like once camp got going, and then once he started getting sharper, the man got to work. Maybe he'll make his excuses and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, he gets ready for a fight. I mean, maybe he could have gotten better prepared for that Sean Porter fight. But I mean, either way, you got to be a man and just take the L sometimes. Like I never do. I never make excuses. I remember when I beat Amiri Mom, he came out with something like that. He was sick or whatever. And what people don't know, I was sick for that fight. That whole week I was sick. I was drinking teas, eating soups. But this is the first time I've ever admitted anybody to the press about that. Like, I never make no excuses. I mean, the fight with Felix Diaz, I had a broken foot that last round. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people feel like those 2 knockdowns cost me the fight with Felix Diaz, but I mean, they don't know I had a broken foot, and even without the knockdowns, I was gonna get robbed anyways when I was dominating him. So it's just, me and Adrian are 2 different people, But I mean, when it comes to the fighting game, I definitely know he's going to be prepared, and I'm getting ready for the best Adrian Broner. I'm not going to pay attention to him eating the Twinkies and the ice cream and the nachos, but I mean, it's just like, I'm going to be there. I'm expecting the best Adrian Broner, and he's going to get the best Adrian Granados.
Well, Adrian, we want to thank you again for giving us this opportunity to interview. This is a big fight. We're glad you could come on the Boxing Voice and showcase yourself for our listeners. Give us your social media at this time for any of our listeners that isn't following can do so. And once again, we wish you the best of luck. We'll see you in Cincinnati, February 18th.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter, El Tigre AG, El Tigre AG. Also on Instagram, El Tigre AG, and then on Facebook, Adrian El Tigre Granados.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to tune in every Thursday and Sunday starting at 7 p.m. live for our TBV podcast. And be sure to follow us on all leading social media networks.